y'all, welcome to our third episode of Crafting in Quarantine. My name is Dabney and I'm the young adult librarian at the Twin Lakes Library System. Today I'm going to be showing you all how to make cloth face masks. So this tutorial is sort of breaking my rule of crafting in quarantine, which is making crafts of things you can find around your house, because some of the things in today's tutorial you might not be able to find at home. But if you're worried about that, I have gonna have like articles and tutorials linked to other types of masks that you can make with things around your house, like paper towels, coffee filters, just regular t-shirts. But I did want to show you this cloth face mask tutorial because the masks that we're making today can be reused. They can be washed and dried and used over and over again. So just to show you, this is a mask I made yesterday. Alright, and another thing about being able to reuse our mask, today's Earth Day, so yay! Yeah, I just wanted to do something that is good for us and good for the environment. Alright, so I'm going to show you what you're going to need today. So you're going to need fabric, scissors, a ruler, pins and needles, elastic, thread, a safety pin. I don't have a safety pin, so I'm using this little keychain thing. And optional is an iron. Okay, and the tutorial I'm showing you today comes from the CDC website. So I'm going to switch the angle of this video down so you can see as I'm working like what I'm doing. So say goodbye to my face for a bit. Say hello to the Raven Boys' faces. Alright, so for your fabric you're going to want two rectangle pieces that are measured 6 inches by 10 inches. So this one I've actually already started. I sewed this end here, but I'm going to show you how to sew the other end if you've never sewn before. So what you do is you're going to fold this top part down about a 1/4 inch and you can pin it. So there, I've pinned it together. And my pieces of fabric are not totally like the same size, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm pinning here, and I'm pinning down here too. And then what I'm actually going to do is iron this because I want to take my pins out. My pins end up sticking me, so I'm going to show you guys that real quick. So got the iron, and I'm just going to iron these flat. Before I even started this tutorial, I had ironed the fabric flat already, just to help. So I'm taking my pins out and I'm gonna iron this again. It's kind of like when you're doing origami and you want really good creases. That's what I'm doing here, just making sure my fabric is gonna stay down. Okay, so next up we are gonna thread our needle. So for this tutorial I am using red thread because you can see it easier than like if I was using black thread, which is what I typically use. So you've got your needle here and you're gonna thread through the eye of the needle like so. Then you just pull your thread through. You get your other end and put them together. Anyways, sorry if this is like not the best tutorial of all time. Okay, and then you're just gonna tie it. I usually do 2 to 3 knots at the end just so That way it's not going to get pulled through your fabric. By the way, the fabric I'm using is 100% cotton, but you don't have to use 100% cotton. You can use, for fabric, you could use like cut up t-shirts, you know. I saw one using like the fabric from like bags, like those kind of cloth, I don't know, cloth reusable bags. Okay, so we're gonna sew. And you know, you might already know how to sew, but we'll just do this for those who don't. You stick your needle in, you pull the thread, and there's your knot. And then you stick your needle in here. And it's going through, you pull it again. And there, you've made one stitch. On the other side, you know, you stick your needle in. And your stitches, like, they don't have to be even. You know, it is good if they're even and the same size. Like, if you can do that, kudos to you. But I'm just saying, like, these are just masks. Like, we're not creating like I don't know, a ball gown or something. Alright, I'm going to show you real quick how to make multiple stitches at once to speed up this process. So you put in your needle, and you stick it through, and then you bunch up your fabric, and kind of, can't even, stick your needle again. So instead of like pulling the thread through after one stitch, you're kind of like queuing up multiple stitches on your needle. And you know, when you got like 4 or 5 or whatever, you push your needle through all that fabric and then pull your string through, and ta-da, you've just made like 4 stitches. Okay, so I'm gonna start just kind of work on that, and while I'm sewing, I'm gonna tell you guys a bit about why it's important for us to be wearing masks right now. And when you need to wear masks. So you need to wear a mask if you're going to be going out in public and you're going to be around other people and sort of at risk of being exposed to the virus. So you don't need to wear your mask if you're home, if you're in your car, if you're in your yard and other people aren't around. Like if it's just you and your family in those spaces, then those are kind of like safe spaces. But if you have like a lot of people who are maybe using your car, then I don't know, that might not be a safe space. So just think about it critically. So yeah, so if you're going to the store, you're gonna want to wear your mask. And part of that is like to protect yourself from exposure and protect other people from you. So your mask is basically, they talk about like one of the ways the virus is spread is through like water droplets that you, like when you exhale, when you sneeze, you know, cough, you know, all these water droplets are kind of come out. And your mask is there to catch yours and then to prevent other people's water droplets from getting to you. But when you're wearing your mask, you still need to be maintaining social distance of at least 6 feet. You still need to, like, if you're out in public and you're wearing your mask, don't touch your face. You know, clean your hands. Be aware of, like, you know, contamination. And when you take off your mask, you know, and you're touching it, like the outside of your mask is contaminated. So if you touch that with your hands, you need to go wash your hands. Try not to touch the inside of your mask if you're going to be wearing your mask like multiple times. So if you're like at a store, then you get in your car, you take your mask off, then you're somewhere else and you want to put your mask on, you know, don't touch the inside of your mask with your hands because that's contaminating it. These masks can be washed and dried and reused, so that's good. And if you know, don't want to run like a load of laundry, you can just wash these with warm water and soap and hang them up to dry in the sunlight, and yeah, you'll be good to go again to wear it. So we're getting to the end of sewing this row. And I'm just going to put in the last few couple stitches. So yeah, like I was saying earlier, I'm using red thread, but if you're like, you know, typically you want your thread and fabric to match. So usually I'd use black, but I just wanted to use red so it could show up really well and show you guys what we did. So now on the back side, I'm going to cut the thread and tie this off. So, I don't know, you guys might not be able to see this, but you just kind of want to, I don't know, get a knot. So again, I like to do like 2 to 3 knots just to make sure it stays. Okay, then you like cut off the extra string, and there, we've done that side, and I already did the other side. And then to complete this, you're gonna fold this side in like a 1/2 inch. And you're actually gonna sew around like along the top of this, because you're going to thread elastic through here. So you do the top, and then you do this side too. You fold it in 1/2 inch, sew along the top. So I'm going to show you, I've already done one of these earlier. Ta-da! So this shows you it's like already sewed. And now I'm going to show you how I threaded the elastic through. So for your elastic, you really want to have it be 1/8 of an inch thick. The kind I had was a 1/4 inch thick, and it was too thick. So you just, for this, I'm just tying this on here. So yeah, with my 1/4 inch thick elastic, I cut it in half and made these. So, alright, then you've got like your opening here, so you're going to push your safety pin or whatever through there, and you can feel it. So you're kind of like pushing the metal piece through and kind of pulling the fabric back, because that's how we're threading the elastic in. Alright, now down here at the end, there it is. Pull that out. Okay, I'm going to untie this. And I can do this. Sort of. Alright, so this is kind of frayed because I had cut the elastic, like I was saying. But then you're going to just double knot this here. And there's like other tutorials with different ways to make masks. So this is just one way. And I'm going to link some of those so you can see how other people make a mask. I felt like this one though was pretty easy. Okay, so you got that, and then we're going to kind of bunch up our fabric here, the ends, and then our mask is ready to go. I'm going to move the camera back to show you how to put it on. Hello. Okay, so the elastic just hooks around the back of your ear. I'm going to take my glasses off too. Oh my god, I can't see. Alright, and then this one hooks over here. And you're pulling the fabric down. You want it to cover your nose and your mouth. And here, kind of like bunch it together so it's like fitting kind of tighter to your face. Whew. Okay, let's see. I feel like kind of Spider-Man with this web pattern. Alright. There. Ta-da! Done. Okay, I'm taking off my mask now. But yeah, like I said, when you take off your mask, try not to touch the inside of it. Don't want to contaminate it. If you touch the outside, remember to wash your hands because you touch contaminated material. When you get home, wash and hang up to dry, and then reuse again. That's why it's good to have multiple masks, because if you're waiting for one to dry, you can get the other one that's already dried. Head on out. So that is basically it for the tutorial. Yeah, I'm going to have lots of other resources linked to this video for you all, and I've also been sharing articles and posts on our teen Tumblr page, which is everythingya@TLLS. And even if you don't have a Tumblr account, you can look it up and see what we're posting. I think there was an issue earlier that it hadn't been made public yet, so if you tried to look at it and you couldn't, that issue has been fixed. What else? Oh yeah, so Friday is Slice of Life Instagram Live at 3:30. I'm going to be doing a program on green living, so you'll be learning about recycling and composting and other things we can do to help protect our environment and protect ourselves. So I hope you guys enjoyed today. If you have any questions, just leave us a comment. If you happen to make a face mask, we would love to see it, so please tag us if you make it and post it. I hope y'all are having a great week, and I'll see you Friday.